Okay. All right. Well, most of you would have seen the reports on the news, and you may have looked at the PCS website on Friday that reported, following the meetings that took place on Thursday of this week, the government have sent a letter stating to all the unions that are involved in the pensions negotiations that they should accept what's on offer, which is not very much. It's still talking about RPI change to CPI as it already is now, having to work longer to 67 than 68, and having to pay more in and get less out. And if we didn't sign up to that agreement by 10 a.m. this morning, then the government would take that as it was failure to agree on our part, and they'd go ahead and impose anyway. Now, what most of you would have seen on Friday is a letter that came out from Gus O'Donnell that went out to everybody across the civil service, saying that these changes are going to take place from April 2012. So they didn't wait until 10 a.m. this morning. The 10 a.m. deadline has now changed to 3 p.m. Today, but actually the NCLG, the National Campaigns Liaison Group, is meeting today at 5 p.m. and there's actually, it's changed, the time. It was originally 2:30, 3 o'clock. And Mark Swatk, our General Secretary, is working very hard on our behalf. He's been in the media this morning or on radio. He's calling on the other unions to have absolute unity and to stand together and not to accept detrimental changes to union membership. What we did on November the 30th, the strength of that action needs to be repeated. So the NSSN, which is the National Shop Stewards Network, supported by PCS and others, has called a lobby of the TUC at 3:30 to 5:30 today outside TUC Congress House to put pressure on trade union leaders not to accept detrimental offers and to call a day of coordinated action. So that's the current state of play. There's obviously been lots of reports out in the media, and the reports around local government, what we understand to have been offered to local government is not any better, not any improvements. It's about not making any detrimental changes for the next 2 years. They're not saying they're going to hold off. So where we are at the moment is that meeting will take place. There'll be some updates that come out on the PCS website tomorrow, and also there'll be a branch briefing that comes out to all branches tomorrow, updating on the situation. Our NEC is due to meet from the 10th to the 12th of January. Obviously, if there's a need for us to meet before that would be called. It's going to be difficult for the Christmas period because obviously we've got bank holidays in between, and any updates on any developments will come out through the usual sources on the PCS website, and if you're signed up to the email and text alert, you'll get updates through that route. And we hope that we'll put the necessary pressure on today, and I know Mark will do a fantastic job representing PCS members to put pressure on the other unions to call a day of coordinated action, to stand united and not give in to the government. We can't afford to give in to this government. We've had a 2-year pay freeze, which in real terms is a pay cut. And they're talking now that they've announced that there's a 1% cap on pay, which is nothing, which is a further pay cut over years. And our members are facing deepening poverty and deprivation, having to claim benefits to supplement their pay, people really struggling to make ends meet. Nobody can afford to have to pay out £100 plus per month, in addition on their pensions, and having to work to 67, 68. We have to stand up against this government. We have to stand united. I think it's fantastic that the branch has called this protest. It's important for us to be visible, even though we are indoors out of the rain. We're here and we've met, so it's good for the people. It was called at very short notice. For those that can make it, hopefully, you'll be able to get along to the lobby down at Congress House at some point today. It's up until 5:30, so perhaps after work people can go down there, and we have to keep the pressure on. And I think that means that as individuals, what we need to do is we need to be going back and talking to our families, our neighbours, our friends, because a lot of our friends and family and neighbours will be in one or another public sector pension schemes. A lot of people working across the public sector, because the pressure needs to be put on grassroots, from the membership. We can't have union leaders deciding to sell their members down the river. And I hope that the other union leaders will see sense and listen to their members, and we will keep the pressure up on the government. We won't give in. PCS will not give in, as all of you know. We will fight these attacks on us, as we are with all the other attacks in terms of the whole cuts agenda from the government. And keep your eye on the website. Over the next day or two, there will be some updates from the meeting that's happening this afternoon on there.
All right, thanks for that, Zita. Thanks for that.